Hey guys, Bert the Stormtrooper coming to you one more time from the Mobile Command Studio for another edition of Nerd Rage. And once again, I have nothing to rage about because I had a really awesome weekend. So this past Saturday, my oldest daughter and I, we got geared up in all of our ghost busting gear and we made the trek and we braved all the way out to the land of enchantment, Orlando, Florida, for a signing where none other than Dan Aykroyd was doing part of his Crystal Head Vodka tour, and he was going to be doing a signing for the Crystal Head Vodka bottles out there. So we braved out, we put on our gear, we jumped in the Mobile Command Studio, and we headed out to Orlando. And man, we had such an awesome time. So we got out there, we got to. It was at a Walgreens / liquor store, combo store out there. And we got out there at about 11:30 in the morning. And the place was already packed when we got out there. And as soon as we pull into the parking lot, people are shouting at us. There's a bunch of people that we knew. There's a bunch of people in Ghostbusters gear. A bunch of the guys that we know from the 501st Legion were out there as well. A bunch of people that we know from conventions and stuff. They were all standing in line, so they saw us pulling in, and they're yelling and waving and whatnot. So we get there, and the line is already going around the building. It's craziness out there. Parking lot is packed. So we get parked, and we go around. We're walking around the building. We're saying hi to people. We're taking pictures. I mean, as soon as we get there, people are walking up. They're wanting to take pictures of us. We're in full Ghostbusters gear. We got our uniforms on. We got our packs on. We're ready to go. There's about 30, 40 other Ghostbusters out there as well. We were just having a blast. And, it was pretty cool because people were getting in and out of line. A lot of people were asking for us to get out of line to take pictures with them. People were wanting to look at the gear. And like I said, there was a bunch of people that we all knew each other. So people were wanting to get out of line to go say hey to these guys or go say hey to those guys. And people were being, in general, overall, very cool about holding your place in line. And so you could get out of line, hey, I'll be back. You go say hi to friends, or you go take pictures, and you could come back in line. And people were being very cool about holding your place. So, the general energy there, everybody was just there having a very good time, and everybody was just overall being very, very cool. Everybody was on their best behavior. It was a really awesome time that everybody was having. Everybody was out there. We're all standing outside in the sun in Orlando. It's super hot. Everybody's sweating. We've got our gear on. So, everybody's trying to make the best of it. Everybody's going inside, getting drinks for people and whatnot. So, everybody's being generally cool. So we're all having a great time out there. The manager came out. He handed out tickets with numbers for everybody. So, you had your place in line with a number that you were going to go in and have your stuff signed and meet Dan Aykroyd when he got there. And then they were also doing raffles and stuff like that. So, we were all doing our best to have a good time and make the best of it while we stood outside in the sun. So at about 1 o'clock or so is when Dan Aykroyd was going to get there. And I guess one of his reps started walking around the line asking for anybody who was out there in the Ghostbusters, hey, make sure you know what your spot in line is, but please come out to the front of the store. Dan wants to get a group picture with you guys. Awesome. So we all head out to the front of the store, and we start, Dan's not there yet, but we all meet up at the front of the store. A lot of us knew each other. There was some people there from out of town. So we're all doing intros and getting to know each other, and we do a big group picture. And that was a lot of fun. Well, somebody, and I don't know who this was. I really do need to do some research and find out who did this. There was somebody from one of the out-of-town Ghostbusters group they had a Dodge Magnum that they turned into an Ecto-1. And this thing looked really, really cool. And it was parked out in the parking lot right in front of the store. So we're out there taking our group pictures. Next thing you know, we see Dan Aykroyd standing across the parking lot, and he's going like this to the group. He's just waving us over and pointing to the car, pointing to the Ecto Magnum. and he just wants everybody to come take a group picture with him in front of the car. So, oh, awesome. So we all run over there, and he's being super awesome. They say never to meet your heroes because you never know how they're going to turn out. You know what? If you've ever wanted to meet Dan Aykroyd, go meet Dan Aykroyd. This guy is super awesome. I can't gush enough. I can't tell you enough how awesome this guy was. He was being super pleasant, complimenting everybody on their costumes. You would think somebody who has had 30 years of people talking about Ghostbusters to him would be sick of it. This guy couldn't get enough of it. He's complimenting everybody on their costumes. He's complimenting people on their gear. He did make a couple of comments about, hey, I see a couple Lady Ghostbusters out here. So, yeah, a couple of eye rolls or whatever. But, you know, it was all in jest. It was all in fun. My daughter was freaking out because my daughter was right in the center of the picture, and the whole time he had his hand on her shoulder. So the whole time she was going, squee! So she was really excited about that. But yeah, he was being super awesome. He stood out there taking pictures with all of us, complimenting us on the gear and the costumes, telling us we look great. Thank you for coming out to see him. He was thanking us for coming out to see him. How about that? So awesome. We got our pictures with Dan Aykroyd. We're ready to go back in line, right? Next thing you know, here Dan Aykroyd's about to take it up another notch. He goes, okay, so here's what I want to do next. I want to take care of all the Ghostbusters first. These guys are out here in the sun with these heavy packs and all their gear. I want you guys to come in the store with me. I'm going to take care of you guys first. And personally walked us all into the store first to take care of all of us. So awesome. I mean, I felt bad for some of the people that had been there. You know, there were some people who had been standing there for hours, and I can't help but, you know, I kind of be remiss if I didn't mention that. You know, there had been people standing there before us, and I kind of feel bad for that. But I mean, that was so awesome that he would do that and say, hey, you guys, the Ghostbusters, you guys all came out in your gear. Thank you for coming out. As a gesture to you guys, I'm going to bring you guys in first, and I'm going to take care of you guys first. We were all standing there like, we couldn't believe it. There is a picture that I saw online today where we're all doing like that right as he's walking up, because we couldn't believe it. So we go inside, we get in line. The guy was super gracious. We all got to sit down with him. I brought in a couple of 8x10s with me. I had like 3 8x10s that I brought with me. He signed all 3 of them. He signed my Proton pack. He shook my hand. He shook my daughter's hand. He took some pictures with us. Thanked us once again for coming out to see him. I mean, he couldn't have been more awesome. So I was really, really excited. I am never going to forget meeting Dan Aykroyd. It was everything that I would have ever hoped to have been, and then some. Dan Aykroyd, one of the best, most awesome guys I could have ever hoped to have met. So, yeah, if you ever get a chance to meet Dan Aykroyd, he's out doing his Crystal Head Vodka tours right now. He's doing his bottle signings. If you get a chance to go out and meet Dan Aykroyd, go out and meet Dan Aykroyd. Go out and buy one of his bottles of vodka. The guy is super awesome. He'll sign your stuff. There was guys out there dressed up as Blues Brothers. There was people bringing all kinds of memorabilia from Ghostbusters to Blues Brothers, Spice Like Us. I mean, people were bringing out everything, and he was taking the time to sign the bottles, and he was taking the time to sign anything else that you put in front of him, and he was taking this picture with you. He was being so cool. So if you get a chance, if he comes by your town, take the time and go out and meet Dan Aykroyd. He is super awesome. So that was that, and then the whole group, we came back outside. We hung out for a little bit, and then most of us headed out down the street. We went to the Ale House there in Orlando, and we had a big group lunch. We all got to hang out there for a couple hours. Hung out, and just kind of, a lot of us are from different parts of Orlando. There's some people from out of town. You know, a lot of us don't get to see each other but once or twice, 3 or 4 times a year at conventions and stuff like that. So it was a very cool chance for a lot of us to catch up. So we hung out, had lunch, hung out for a couple hours, and then we headed home. My daughter and I, we had about a 2.5-hour drive back to our house. So we're headed back home, and we drove. We took one of the state routes. We took one of the lesser traveled roads, and we're driving through this little bitty town called Mascati in Florida. Just a little bitty. Nobody knows this town. It's a little speed trap town, actually, or at least it's what it's known as. And as we're driving through this town, I noticed this little video game store. So I'm like, hey, video game store, let's pull in and check it out. So we pull into this store called Cybertron Video Games in Mascati, Florida. My new friends at Mascati at Cybertron Video Games, these guys were so awesome. Of course, we still have most of our gear. We're still in our uniforms. We don't have, obviously, the packs, and a lot of our gear is put away, but you know, we've got our uniforms, so they freak out, and we're hanging out, we're talking with them, we told them about the meetup and all of that, and what do we find at the store? We find a copy of Ghostbusters for the Sega Master System. So you better believe I bought that game. I went back out to the truck. My daughter and I put all our gear back on, and they took pictures of us for the website. My new friends at Cybertron Video Games, shout out to you guys. Check these guys out. Their store was so awesome. It's a shame that these guys are just over an hour away from my house, because I mean, it's a shame, and it's not a shame because I would be there every day and I would be broke. But it's a shame because these guys were so awesome, and I want to go and hang out with these guys every day. I really do. So every time, I think I'm going to be heading. Anytime I go to Orlando, I'm probably going to go through this town just so that I could stop in at Cybertron and hang out with these guys. These guys were super awesome. And I bought some other games, but the highlight was that the fact that I was just coming from a Ghostbusters event, and I just happened to find Ghostbusters on the Sega Master System. Now, granted, you know, the old Ghostbusters game on the 8-bit Ghostbusters game, not the best Ghostbusters game ever. I had the Atari 2600 version when I was a kid. The NES version was not that great. The Sega Master System version, not much better, but it is just a slight tad bit better than the Nintendo version was. And come on, it's got to be in my collection. It's got to be. So I didn't have it, now I have it, and it was a perfect opportunity. It was a perfect picture moment. It was great, so I had to get it, so I did. So yeah, and then we headed home, and we had an awesome day. So Saturday was awesome. It was a great day. It was an all-around Ghostbusters awesome day. Bustin' makes me feel good, and it was just a great day. Daddy-daughter day out with the Ghostbusters. It was just a fantastic day. And then I spent Sunday and Monday sick and throwing up. So yeah, what? Yeah. So rage. So yeah. But anyway, Saturday was awesome. I just wanted to tell you guys that story, share a couple of pictures with you guys. Again, if you guys get a chance to meet Dan Aykroyd while he's out doing his Crystal Head Vodka tour, go out and check him out, man. He's super awesome. Don't be afraid to meet this guy. He was fantastic. And if you're ever in Mascati, Florida, go check out Cybertron Video Games, because that is a super awesome store, and I can't wait to drive through that town again so I can stop in and buy some more games from those guys. Those guys were awesome. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to tell that story. I had a great time this Saturday, not this whole weekend because I was sick, but Saturday was great, and I wanted to share that story with you guys and share these pictures. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.